Welcome back to Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast, where we told you we're going to continue to share life experiences. We have another amazing testimony to tell. We want to welcome Jemma Williams to Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast, all the way from Belize, right? Did I say that right?
Yes, yes, you did.
Okay, so we have hit another country. It's another blessing virtually. So this is saying that the message is spreading for others to continue to fight to start the journey to healing. And we are sharing resources of others that have been through traumas and they are on their journey to healing from someone else's life experience. Jemma, if you can come up and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to go back and forth today. City Sid is not here today, but Gemma and Jamia,
Gemma,
Gemma, sorry, is going
Gemma,
to kick it
yes.
off, and we're going to get it going. Welcome, Gemma.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much on having me here. I'm so grateful. Like you don't know how much it means to me. So grateful. My name is Gemma Williams. Like have been said, my name is Gemma Williams. I'm from Belize, Central America. I grew up mostly with my mom. You can say I grew up with my mom. And I now have a job. Well, I've been working, right? I've been working, but at first I had a very toxic environment. Now I'm working at an environment that I really like. I enjoy the environment. Um, recently moved into a new neighborhood, so I'm very happy at the moment. Very happy. I'm contented right now with my life in this moment. I don't have no complaints so far. All right, I'm 36 years old, and yeah, I feel like I'm just starting a new life. That's how I really truly feel. Starting a new life. From everything that I have been through, I'm starting a new life. All right. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so we're going to get into it and figure out what starting a new life is all about. So, we're going to start from the childhood. If you could tell us a little bit about your childhood and if that is where some of your traumas started at.
Yes. In childhood, I was molested from ages 5 to 14. All right. My first abuser was a female. It was my babysitter. All right. And I was 5. And I can never forget, like, even now, when I look at my baby pictures or at my younger pictures, I have tears in my eyes because it's just immediate flashback, like so much suppressed memories that I try to move away from. When I look back, it's like, look how far I have come. That when I look back, that's what I see. The little girl who got molested by her female babysitter, right? And it's just so sad that I was 5 and literally the babysitter took away my innocence, you know? So I don't know, first time. I mean, that's my first time when it comes to sexual sex, when it comes to anything sexually, right? That was my first experience. And while growing up, it just got worse. I got molested from my by my cousins, by family friends. I got molested by my stepfather, by my uncle, my aunt boyfriend, actually. So yeah, somewhat my uncle, my aunt boyfriend. So I I had encountered a lot when it comes to sexual abuse, childhood sexual abuse. I had encountered a lot. And it's just sad that when I do talk about this, people think that I'm exaggerating, because how come a child can go through so many, how a child can get abused so many times by different people and no one say nothing or no one notice nothing. But that's the problem. People notice certain things, but they just keep their mouth shut, and they don't want to have that reality check, like, okay, this little girl needs help. Or because sexual abuse, when you're being sexual abused, a child go through a process of being rebellious, of being promiscuous, of being uh, just out of nowhere, and people have noticed those things, but maybe because sexual abuse is such a taboo subject that people don't want to say nothing. And that is where the issue is. We want to keep sexual abuse as as something that you should not talk about, right? And this is something that needs to be talked about, because the more signs that people know about sexual abuse, neighbors, friends, family members can say something, right? Because when I was sexually abused by my
And
babysitter when I was 5, my
Jamia,
mom hired another babysitter. And because my first babysitter have trained me to um, always kissing her and always being sexually involved with her, I got programmed to thinking that this was a normal thing, and being at that age, at age 5, I tried to kiss my new babysitter, and she told me, no, don't do that. That's wrong. Don't do that. And in that moment, she could have alerted my mom or someone that something is wrong. This is not normal. A child should not be acting sexually this way, right? Something could have been said, and something could have happened that I could have speak out about it, but nothing happens. My new babysitter, didn't say nothing. So everything is just a hush hush. Therefore, I didn't even get any help at all. Right? I don't get no help.
can I, Jamia, can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
Um, I want to go back um to your first babysitter. Um, what was the age range that she inappropriately abused you? And if you're okay with talking to the audience so that parents can look at these signs and say, hey, something's not right, or if a 5-year-old, if people have kids, they can talk to their young kids so this doesn't happen. What are what so I guess my question would be, what how did she kind of maneuver you into
Mm.
being able to do what she did?
Oh, I like playing house. I like playing hide and seek. I like, playing with my dolls at that age, and she usually would say, let's play house, let's play mom and dad, let's just play together. And at that moment, I love playing. I mean, I'm a child, I'm a 5-year old, and I don't know how it really really started, but all I remember at this age is like there was a moment when she took me to the bathroom. I was bathing, you know. She took me to the bathroom, and she was helping me take a bath, right? She was helping me take a bath. And she literally started to fondle me, rubbing my undeveloped breasts, and she started to touch my private area, and she started to kiss me. And every so often, she would just try to kiss me like, "I love you. You're beautiful." That was her thing. That's what she would usually do. She would usually kiss me and tell me I'm so beautiful. She would kiss me, I'm so beautiful. That's how it's really started then. And when I got in the bathroom, she just started to fondle me, and she started to touch my private area. And I remember, um she took off her underwear, and I was like seriously naked, and she just started to get on top of me and rode me, right? At age 5. And that's when I saw her private area, and she asked me to, go down on her. And from since then, like, that experience let me have so many nightmares, and I felt very uncomfortable after that. Like it was like my first sexual experience. And after that, I think I just kept more quiet. I kept more quiet, and because she made it feel like it was a normal thing as well, I did kiss one of my classmates at school. Oh yeah, I did. I did do that. I kissed one of my classmates at school, a female, and one of the teachers saw me kissing the other girl, and she scolded me and the little girl for kissing. I don't know in that moment if she told my mom. I don't know what happened, but nothing happened. Nothing came out of it. Nothing came out of it. All right. So I knew it was something bad to do afterwards, but it was like, okay, you get scolded, and then what? Nothing happened, you know?
So your
So there
parents,
were,
you have two situations now where the teacher something was wrong and
yes, and
the
this was in primary school, because I was still at age 5, 6, or around that age. I was in
did they
primary
call your
school.
parents?
I don't know if she told my mom. I don't know.
So you just it wasn't no luck. And even after this, when did the second babysitter come along?
The second babysitter came along. Um, Let me see. The second babysitter came along before, but yeah, before my babysitter. No, the babysitter came along after when that kissing incident happened at school.
So so your first babysitter was just from the age of 5
Yes, yes,
or 5 years old.
yeah.
Okay. Did you ever tell your mother that the babysitter did this to you?
No, I never told her, because the babysitter said not to tell anyone. I was very obedient, actually. The babysitter told me not to tell anyone. It's our little secret. Um, and she would just tell me how much she loved me, how much she cared about me, and how beautiful I am. Like, she created that bond, you know, that bond of I love you, all
Mm.
right, and not to tell anyone. So when she left, I'm not sure what was the reason why she left. I'm not sure if my mom fired her or what. I don't know what happened. I just know at that time when she left, I felt really abundant. Like I just felt hurted, like stranded, because like all this while you program me how much you love me, how much you care about me, kissing me, doing all those fondling sexually stuff, and now you're nowhere to be found, you know?
I wonder.
And
I wonder if your mother did know.
I'm not sure. And she feels so uncomfortable talking about it, so I don't even bring it up anymore,
Okay.
you know.
So
So that
did that
pa- that
cause
that part of my childhood, I will never know the real truth when it comes to what happened, why she left. I'm not sure.
you asked your mother why did she fire her?
No, she doesn't want to. She feels so uncomfortable when it comes to this topic. It's like
Wow.
she feel uncomfortable, so I just leave the topic as is and carry on my journey as, I got to deal with the scars.
Do you ever wonder why it makes her feel uncomfortable?
Maybe because she probably blame herself when it comes to a lot of things, cuz like I told you, I got molested by my cousins as well. My three male cousins, I got molested by them during the summer break. And I
And
got
she knows
molested
about
by
that. She knows
she
about your three
didn't she
cousins.
didn't she didn't know about that either. She didn't know about that because I was in another district. She would send me to my grandmother during the summer break, and
Mm-hmm.
I normally have my family there. Like majority of my family is in another district. All right. So she would normally send me there for the summer break or Easter break. It doesn't matter. Like any holiday, Easter or summer or Christmas, she would send me to my grandparents. And we have a huge family. And during that time, my three male cousins, we were playing, and they were older than me. We were playing, and I don't know how we
How much
end up.
older? How much older were they than you?
I would say, hmm, I would say they were in their teenage years.
And how old were
I
you?
was I was about 6 around that time.
6 years old, and they were teenagers.
Yes. Yes.
So did they? Was it a group? Did they group
Yes,
abuse you? Ooh.
three of them took out their penises and tell me to, give them a to suck it then. That's like the word, the term I can use right now.
No, it's
But
fine.
yeah.
I mean, you're being transparent, and this is your experience, so you share it how it makes you feel comfortable.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. They told me to give them an oral, and it was the same story. Oh, I'm so beautiful. Um, I can't believe you're so beautiful. I love you. I like you. Stuff like that was their way of getting to me, by giving me that pep talk,
And how long
and
did they do this every
what's
time you
that?
came? Did they do this every time you came, or just this one time?
It was that one time. And after that, it was more individually. So three of them do it at the same time that one time. And when I do go back, it was more individual, one on one. So I would meet one of them and we would go in a corner and they would kiss me or he would kiss me. And like the following day or the following week or so, the another brother come by and he would kiss me too. All right. So it was more like that. Like it was more like a hide and seek thing. All right. We would hide from my grandparents and kiss. All right. So after that, like it just felt normal. Like whenever I go there, it's like I expect them to kiss me. Like this is what we do, you know?
Did it go beyond
And
kissing?
no, it doesn't. It doesn't go beyond kissing. It well, kissing and fondling. Let me put it like that: kissing and fondling. All
Okay.
right, but it doesn't lead to sex. It's just kissing
Okay.
and fondling.
Well, they've
All
already
right.
inappropriately disrespected you, so
Yeah. All right. So it just felt normal after that, and
did
it
they ever
just
apologize?
I wasn't scared or anything. It just felt normal because I thought it was love. I thought it was, I don't know. I guess it was love. I That's what I thought.
Did they ever apologize to you?
No, they don't.
Do you see them?
I had confronted them being older, and they were like, "Mm, well, they got molested too, so but I don't know if
Really? Is
that's
that what
just
they
an
told you?
excuse.
No, I don't. I honestly, I think they believe they did. I believe that they were telling you the truth.
Um,
For them to do something like
Probably.
that, that means that somebody did something to them.
Mm. Yeah,
But that's
and
not an excuse for them to say, because this happened to me, that I'm going to do it to someone else. They know it was wrong.
yeah, yeah, which is wrong. It's dead wrong, and after that I got molested by my stepfather
So,
at the
and
time.
how old were you then?
At that time I was probably 11.
So you were molested from 5-year old by a babysitter, 6 to what age? Your cousins,
Yeah. And
6 years
I
old.
got molested. Yeah, I got molested by their sister as well because there's my three male cousins had a sister. And one time when I went to summer vacation, their sister came by and we were just playing, like literally playing dolls and house, and she literally just kissed me and fondled my boobs, and we just started kissing. We just continued kissing, and that was it. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I think around that time I was probably 7. I
And
think
how old was she?
I'm not sure how old she is, but she's older than me.
It sounds like
She's much
definitely
older.
there's a family history of something going on.
Yeah. All right. She's
Um,
older than me. And
did this?
during that time,
Uh-huh.
yeah, during that time, I went to the neighbor, and it was like, I'm not sure what was it, but the neighbor and I also started to kiss. It was a female as well, and she kissed my boobs and she spit on the
How old was
ground.
she?
I think she was probably 10.
And how she was 10, how old were you?
I was probably 8. Yeah, probably 8. It was like, I don't know, it was just something normal. It just felt like a normal thing to do. It's just
But it's
weird.
not normal.
Yeah. Yeah,
And it's
it's not normal, but it felt normal at the
yeah,
time. And
I understand.
it
I
was
understand.
it was like after everything have happened, like when I started to search and talk about sexual abuse, that's when I realized, damn, all what happened was that these people didn't love me.
Mm-hmm. Did that so between the ages of, I guess, from 6 up until it's probably going to get even more changes once we jump into the stepfather. Were there any changes in your behavior? Did you show behavior issues in school or at home? Did people see signs that you were changing?
Um, I think my changes were just I just got more quiet. I just couldn't concentrate at school. Um, like from my own perspective, I couldn't concentrate at all at school in my younger years from ages 5. I couldn't concentrate, and I struggle when it comes to learning certain materials. Like I became a slow learner then, and it's just hard for me to understand certain things until I can grasp what people are saying. All right. Yeah, so it did affected how I concentrate in school. It did. All
Okay,
right.
and thank you for being transparent about that as well.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to go into, so you can't concentrate at school, you've become quiet, you're struggling with learning, and then your mom's is this your mom's husband
Yeah,
that
my mom boyfriend.
your mom's boyfriend, which you considered
Yeah.
your stepfather,
Yes. Yes.
he so he violates you? Are you open to talking about, I guess,
Okay.
how did
With
he kind of
with that part, he all right, with that part, my mom, you can say she was in an abusive relationship. All right. He always came home drunk and wanted to beat my mom. And I was not having it. Like literally, I was not having it. I hate seeing a guy come and take advantage of my mom and hurt her. All right. But it just became a norm after that. But um there was one evening I came from school and he literally put his hand over around my leg and he started to rub it and he was like um he liked my legs and um that I'm beautiful and he placed his hand, he get my hand and he placed it on his private area and I just felt so uncomfortable and he was like do you feel that and he was literally like hard, and he was like do you like feeling that and I just I was just in more of a shock at that moment that I just feel like I just couldn't move. All right. And he could have seen the fear in my face. Like I just seemed afraid. All right. And he he didn't went farther than that. All right. But it was a constant um verbal sexual harassment, you can say. Right. He would give me remarks of what he would want to do with me. All right. And my mom had that mentality of like she wanted to create a beautiful family. Like she wanted him to be like my father and she would be, when I because I don't after that moment, I just didn't respect him at all. Like I started to develop so much hatred towards him because not only did he fondle me or violated that between us, but he was also hurting my mom, and my mom want me to respect him. And I was like, hell no, I'm not respecting someone who treats you like garbage. All right. And many times he would come home drunk and hit my mom. And whenever I tried to fight with him, my mom would send me to the neighbor so that I can sleep in peace. But I can still hear him knocking my mom while I'm at the neighbor house. All right. So I grew up in that domestic violence kind of environment, and my mom was struggling financially, so she wanted him around, and constantly she would send me to him to let him help me out financially, to when it comes to school supplies and stuff like that. All right. And whenever I go around him, he would um give me sexual compliments, or say sexual stuff to me, and I just felt disgusted. But because my mom sent me and she was struggling financially and he had the money, I had to like kind of play it out in a way, so that I can get something financially from him for school. Around that time I was already in high school. So I don't remember what age that was, but I was already in high school. Probably I was age 13 around that time. Yeah. But
So, um, I wanted to know, your mother used to send you to the neighbor when he abused your mom. Did the neighbor ever say anything to you?
well, the neighbor noticed me crying during the night, so my neighbor would just say, everything's going to be like, she would try to mold me to be okay, you know, like pamper me, to give me pep talk that everything's going to be okay, let me not worry. Stuff like, she tried to comfort me as much as she possibly can. All right. But there was a time as well. My stepfather came in very, very drunk, and I literally, which is why I like having my nails a bit long, because I literally scratch him. Me and him got in a fight. All right. I stood up to him and I literally scratched his face, scratched his back, and we were now like outside, and we were now on the unpaved road where we at, and I got his hand and I swung him around in a circle, and I just let him go, and he fell. After he fell, I literally just ran to his sister. I think it's his sister, not sister, his aunt. I think it was his aunt. I ran to her house, and this was around probably 11 o'clock p.m. I ran to her house and I bang, bang, bang on the door and told her that my mom and um, her nephew is fighting, and I came here and I need a place to sleep. And so she just let me in, and I was literally crying. I was crying. I was crying. I was so scared. And she just told me, everything is going to be okay. And she got bed sheets for me and everything like that. And I just stayed there the night. In the morning, early in the morning, probably like around maybe 7 o'clock, I heard my mom banging on the door, asking for me if I'm okay. And I'm not sure what discussion she told my mom. I just didn't want it to go back. I just was tired of the back and forth that she was having with my stepfather. All right. It was just too much to handle at such a young age. All right. It was just too much to handle, but somehow I handle it. Somehow I handle it, and um yeah, after years after that, uh, she didn't let that man go until years after, you
That's what I
know.
was going to ask you. How
Y-
long did she stay with her? So that whole time you watched your mother go through abuse. The abuse never ended.
Yeah, yeah.
Did his gestures towards you stop, or he continued to be disrespectful?
Um, no, it stopped because I hated his guts, like literally hated him. So I showed him how much I hated him. So whenever I would come from school, I pretend like he doesn't even exist. If he was playing, if he was watching television, I would get the stereo and play the music as if no one is there.
Oh
I would put
wow!
on the music hard, like literally, like I was rebellious after that. Like he couldn't mess with me. I was so rebellious, you know. And there was another time that he and my mom got in a fight, and I just couldn't take the secret anymore. And that's when I exposed that he touched me. I told my
Ooh,
mom in front of him that he touched me, and she was literally shocked because it was now an argument because they were having a fight, right? And in that moment, I was standing up to him, and she was telling me, "Stop!" Like she didn't want me to stand up to him. She want me to respect him, right? And I just couldn't hold it in anymore. And I told her right there and then that he molested me. He touched me. And he started to say that I am lying, that I just want to break them up, that um to not let her believe what I was saying. And if it's true that I got molested, maybe it's not him, and maybe it's his nephew, because he have a nephew that comes around sometimes. All right, but the nephew never disrespect me in any way. All right, and he tried to put the blame on his nephew. Right, and I told my mom, no, he did what he did. And my mom was so shocked. She was just so confused. She didn't know what to do until
did
like
she leave him?
afterwards she was saying, "What's that?"
Did she leave him?
No. In that moment she still didn't. She still didn't. She still didn't.
Wow.
And I told, and she was like, "I need to take you to the doctor." And in that moment I cried because remember, it was not just him. I had previous people who had tampered with my body, right? So I was so scared. I was so scared. And I cried and I told her I don't want to go to the doctor. All right. But me being a teenager, I wasn't even a teenager as yet. I think I was 13, 12. I think I was 12 or 13, around that age. And she have all the right to take me to the doctor whether I say yes or no, right? So but I told her I didn't want to, and she didn't take me. All right, but
Do you
being
wish she would
someone
have
who
taken you? When you look back on it now, do you wish she would have taken you or
she
no?
would, if she had taken me to the doctor, she would have found out the truth that I got molested, you know.
I
she
want to
she
jump
would
in.
have known.
I want to go
What's that?
into because I said I want to go into because we have so much. We have another two people. Your you said you were molested by a family member and also an uncle. So you have the stepfather, and then would it be the uncle or the family member?
Yes, the uncle would be from my aunt's husband.
And how old were you then?
I was 13 at that time.
13. Okay. Did he
And
violate
me,
you?
yes, you can say we literally had like a year relationship.
What?
Yeah, yeah,
Sexually?
sexually,
And how old was
sexually.
he?
Probably in his 30s, I think.
Hold up, you were 13 and he was in his 30s?
Yeah.
How did he lure you? How did he manipulate you?
Well, and that there was a time when only me and him were in the hall. We were watching television, and my grandparents were in the room sleeping already. Well, my grandfather actually was in the room sleeping, and my grandmother was at church at that night. So only me and him were in the hall watching television. All right. And he was usually friendly with me. He was usually friendly. And yeah, I like his friendliness, right? And out of nowhere, I noticed he became more closer. He started to come more closer with me, closer to me while I was sitting down. So he come closer, he come click, he come closer. And now we were like literally this close. And when we were this close, he started to rub my leg. So due to past experiences, I already now aware what's up next. Like this is like normal. This is how it is, that this is how everything starts sexually. So I just put it like, okay, at this point I was already promiscuous.
And you felt like
I
this was
was like,
normal?
yes. Yeah, at this point I was just already promiscuous. Like this is how my life is. I mean, this is what I've been introduced from age 5. Like this is just how the way life works. That's how I felt. Like it just didn't felt um abnormal. It just felt like a normal thing to do. You hide, you keep secret, you don't say nothing. Yeah, it just felt normal.
So, can you talk a little bit about how the interaction started? Like, how did he get in the position to like pull you? Like, if you're open to talking about that.
Oh, like I said, he started to touch my leg, and then I watch him in that sexual way. Like, okay, what are you up to? And he started to say like, you like it, and at that moment, I was like, "Mm, yes and no, because like you're dating my aunt. At that time they were not married. All right. He was dating my aunt, and he was like, they have they were so no, he was like because he was like our neighbor, all right? And my aunt started to date him. And what he told me in that moment while rubbing my leg, he was like, I have always admired you. I have always admired you. And you look so beautiful. And he was like, I need to tell you a secret. And I was like, what? You know something? I only dated you. I mean, I only dated your aunt because I wanted to come close to you. Like, I find you so beautiful. I find you so attractive. And I was like, really? Like that was like,
And he
uh-huh.
probably was
Like,
telling the truth.
probably, right? And at that time, at that moment, I found it a bit of a compliment, but I found it weird too because he's dating my aunt, right? And he just continued rubbing my leg, and he asked if he can kiss me. And I was like, I was so hesitant to say yes, but my body language just gave it away. Like, okay, like, let's kiss. And we started to kiss. And that's how it really started. After that, it just went to sneaking, um, finding opportunities to kiss, and it got so intense, it got so sexual. But he became even more friendly with me, and my aunt noticed my friendliness with him, and and she noticed how friendly he was towards me. And I know damn well she knew something was up, but she just didn't do anything. All right, didn't do anything because he
So
was
now he's slept
so.
with you and your aunt both at the same time for a full year.
Yes.
And did she ever
Right.
find out?
After I expose it, then she found out. But no, in that time, no. Um, but she knew something was up because he was like literally so friendly with me, so into me. Like when I go to visit my aunt, he would literally drop everything and sorry. Can you see me? All right.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. Like he would literally drop everything and um just stay around me and talk. And we would talk about life, we would talk about school, we would talk about everything. And she didn't like that. She didn't like that interaction with between me and him. So whenever she see me and him talking too much, she would tell me to go to my grandma's house. Like she would just send me away to do something. So in that moment, I knew she knew something was happening.
Mm,
All
mm,
right.
mm, mm.
But
Wow. Did
nothing
she?
happened. Nothing came out of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, nothing
Wow.
came out of it. Like she literally just sent me away. She just sent me away. She like I'll
Did
give
she
you an
keep messing
example.
with
Let's
him?
say what's that?
Did she continue to talk to him?
Yeah, they got married after.
Hold up, hold up, hold
This
up, hold up.
this was before they got married.
So she didn't divorce him?
No,
They're
no,
still
no, no,
together?
no. All of this happened before she got married.
But when she found out, did she get a divorce or?
No, no, no. Actually, even now, she still have his last name, and he's already dead.
Hold up, so she stayed with him up until he died?
They were broken up. They were broke up because me and him were messing around for a year. So that's from age 13 to 14. And after that, I moved to from the village, and I came to another district. And during that time, they were still dating. I think it was like maybe a year after that, or 2 years after that, they broke up, and they stayed broken up. But she didn't get a divorce. He was already dating someone else. Like physically, they moved on because he was living with someone else already. He literally had already had a new life, but
Wow.
they were not divorced.
She wouldn't divorce him. It must have been a
Yeah,
reason.
yeah. Well, the thing is, she is a teacher, and she was a Catholic teacher, and maybe that was the reason, because Catholics have, like, once you're married or something. I'm not sure what their rules are, you know, but you can't be easily divorced or something like that. I'm not sure what their rules are. All right, but
Wow.
they didn't got a divorce. Even now, they didn't got a divorce, and he died, and she still have his name.
Wow. So I want to ask if you can help.
Even after I have told her what he did to me, even after.
I want to ask if you can come back for a part two because we didn't get to the narcissistic peak, and there's still so much more. Because I
Oh
want to
yeah,
ask
yeah.
a question because we're almost at time. Um, you have another person after the stepfather. I mean, after the aunt's friend, you were sexually violated by a family friend. Was this before the aunt boyfriend or after the aunt boyfriend?
Yeah, and this one is just a family friend. There was a time I was um at the terminal. I was at the terminal, and one of my mom friend, who who I know is my mom friend, he was like, "Are you waiting to catch the bus?" And I told him yes, and he was like, "Well, in the meantime, let's go, and you know, I can drive you around town to kill time." Right? And I was very a trusting person. I grew up very trusting because that's my mom friend, right? Like, she just make it seem like I can trust anyone. And so we went, and he literally just took me to a, like, a dark, not a dark, but in a bushy area, and he started to kiss me and tell me, how beautiful I am. It was like just that same routine, that pattern, of grooming, that I was so beautiful. All right. And I got so used to it that, mm, in my healing process, I hated that word. I hated the word beautiful. I started to develop that self-hatred towards myself. Like, when I look in the mirror, I just hate how I look. Yeah, because all my perpetrators were like, how beautiful I am, how beautiful I am. So I started to hate my own beauty. And in the healing process, I just had to reprogram my mind to say how beautiful I am and love myself. You know, it was more a way, how can I let go of the self-hatred and develop that self-love. But it's a lot. It's a really lot to unpack. Even now that I'm talking to you, it's like, I can't believe I went through all those things and I'm still here, you know?
Because you're supposed to be here to help someone else that is struggling. Um, I want to thank. I didn't even know this was going to go. I didn't know that this was going to be just one topic. I thought we would do
I don't know either,
together.
but I just.
Hmm. But it's okay because you have a powerful testimony, and there are a lot of men and women that go through this situation. Women more so come out and talk about the situation. Men are more so embarrassed or try to shy away from the situation. So just to see that you were inappropriately abused by a lot of women too through the
Yeah,
process. So thank you for bringing the transparency so everyone can see that this is an issue, and a lot of families sweep this under the rug. Um, we're at time. I do want to ask if you can come back for a part two so we can get because to recap to talk about
definitely, no problem.
uh, yeah, self-hatred after the abuse and the narcissistic abuse for 9 years. This is where we call um, shameless plug. And then I'm going to go into closing it out with something positive for other people. I'm going to switch it up since Sid is not here. Your information is scrolling across the bottom. If you can let all the viewers know, the audience know how to contact you. And if you have any books or websites or additional resources, now it's the time and the chance for you to share.
Okay. Well, you can contact me at sim gem SIMGEM 2 at gmail.com. And I do have, that's my email, and I do have my Facebook page, which is Williams JS. And yeah, I'm not, yeah, those two you can, um, oh, and at Instagram at narc dash sexual dash abuse dash awareness on Instagram. All right, and yeah, you can contact me through there.
Okay, perfect. And as we close out, can you give from your life experience on ways that you started the healing journey from your sexual abuse, and if you're still struggling and still trying to find, let the audience know that too as well, because we like to bring transparency and honesty so that everyone know that healing can be challenging, but anyone can do it once you face your truths.
That's true. Well, I will just do a huge summary. I started off my healing journey more on myself, by myself, um, through The Courage to Heal. That's a self-help book. And that was like the most triggering book ever, but it brings everything to light. And that's how I started my journey. And that's how I've been carrying on, just by self-help books. Because here in Belize, it's so hard to find counselors or therapists who deal with sexual abuse victims. In the recovery part, we don't have that resources here, unfortunately. So I literally struggle on my own to get where I'm at through self-help books, and just by reading. And I couldn't do it by myself, you can say. So I created a Facebook page, and that's how I um, get get interaction with other sexual abuse people, actual sexual abuse survivors. And that's how I've been carrying on. And I am still struggling. Still struggling when it comes to certain things, meditation, still struggling to set boundaries, still struggling to not being a people pleaser, and still struggling to put myself first, because all those things have affected me when I was young. So it is a learning process, trial and error. And now that I'm standing firm as to I come first, I come first, I come first. It's like a repeated affirmation I need to tell myself. I come first. My body needs to be healthy. I come first. So it's like I constantly do affirmations so that I can remember that self-love, um, confidence, self-esteem, my value, my worth, everything needs to come from me rather than anyone else. You know, I need to put me on the pedestal.
I
So
love it.
yes, so that's mostly it. Like everything's just I just need to do a 360 as to nothing comes before me. I come first, you
You
know.
gotta put yourself
But
first.
but it is a struggle though. It's not easy. It's not easy to say no because, manipulation, self people who comes with guilt and stuff. Oh gosh.
Mm,
All right. But by the end of the day, we got to put ourselves first. And
amen.
that's
I would
that's the
agree.
hard part.
It is. It definitely is. We want to look out for everyone else and when we need to help ourselves. Yep.
Yeah.
I would agree. Um, Gemma, thank you so
Yes.
much for being a guest. It's an honor to have you. I did not know that it was this deep. We just, briefly talk about what has happened in our lives and our life experiences. I just want to applaud you for your strength and your courage just to even step out and share your testimony, because there are people that may look at this and they have to face a reality fact and truth about how they violated you, and hopefully you can be an
Yes.
encouragement to them to make them realize that they self hurt, and hopefully they're looking at fixing themselves. um I want to thank you for tuning into Unfiltered Unspoken podcast, where we are going to continue to share life experiences. We are not going to stop. That will try to step in between this one, but it didn't work, and we're going to run it, and it's going as planned. So,
Yes.
I'm thankful, and all the way from Belize.
Thank you,
So, this
thank you,
is
thank you
another
so
blessing.
much. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for having me on your channel. I was like, oh wow, I'm going to do this again. Like this is awesome. This is
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
and we want
thank
to thank
you.
you. We couldn't get to half of it, so we're going to get to it, and we're going to make sure that people hear your testimony so that they can start their journey to healing. If you could hold 1 second while we end. Thank you, audience, for tuning in to Unfiltered Unspoken podcast. Like I said, we are going to continue to share life experiences. You have a blessed day. Peace.
Take care. Bye.